Yeah, I'm ready.
Alright, we have an absolutely classic speedrun for you coming up now. That's right, it's Super Mario Bros. With SuperSonic. Take it away, my friend.
All right, thank you very much. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be around the world. My name is SuperSonic, and yes, I'm sure you're going to be questioning why am I called SuperSonic if I'm running Super Mario Bros. That's because I actually started speedrunning this game when I started speedrunning, so that's why. Anyway, we're going to be playing the Warpless variant of SMB1, not to be confused with Super Monkey Ball 1, which we just saw earlier from Helix, which was a very fantastic run, by the way. And without further ado, time starts on the controller of Mario, so I'll give you guys a countdown. All right, here we go in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so Super Mario Brothers. This is pretty much the game that started it for me as a kid. And I don't know, I played this game for so many years. And when I decided to speedrun this game, I was like, okay, let's give it a shot and see how it goes. And I started with any percent category, and then I decided, okay, that was too short, so I went on to Warpless instead. And I actually like Warpless a lot more, so... And just like that, we were just done with 1-1. So now we're gonna go into 1-2, which is the underground level. We're gonna try to do some height jumps right here. There we go. Didn't have to lose our momentum. Now we do these pipe jumps, and as you can see, the piranha plants didn't touch me because their hitboxes are actually at the stem instead of the actual like bulb area. They actually fixed that in the Super Mario All-Stars port of SMB1, which is why I don't really run that version, and I'm not really a big fan of All-Stars. So I decided to go old school with the NES. Alright, so now 1-3, this is where we're going to grab our first power-up. Gonna do a bit of a turnaround here, clip into the block to grab the mushroom before it completely comes out of there. And now we are done with this stage, and we're heading into our first castle level. Now I did put up a poll on Twitter earlier to see if I should go for Small Fire Mario or Big Fire Mario, and it was pretty unanimous that I should go for Small Fire, so we're gonna go for that glitch here. So this can either work with Big Mario or Fire Mario, but since we don't need to grab the Fire Flower just yet, we're gonna go ahead and head over to Bowser here. We're gonna touch the axe and Bowser at the same time, and the game gets a little confused thinking, okay, you finished the level, but you also got hit. So we're gonna just keep you big, but you're technically small. So once we head into this level and uncover our power-up, it's a mushroom, turning us small. So we're technically big, but we're small. And then we grab this power-up here. So now we are Small Fire Mario. And this pretty much gives us the luxury of having a small hitbox and with firepower. Now you kind of notice that you'll see Big Fire Mario show up for like a frame. That doesn't actually alter his hitbox in any way. It's just an aesthetic, since there isn't really a sprite for Small Fire Mario. So you're gonna see Big Fire Mario pop up sometimes whenever I shoot fireballs. And there are some fun things you can do with this as well. Like you can pretty much pick off enemies from underneath. We'll be doing that in 2-3 more than likely, but I can try to pick off some enemies here too. Also, we're on our first water stage, and yes, you can shoot fire in the water because Nintendo logic. Brought to you by Nintendo. Oh, there we go, we just shot a blooper from underneath. And I didn't even get damaged, so... So in a sense, we're pretty much a 1 tile for a hitbox instead of 2. Although this is a much slower setup to do, it is very preferred to go for this strat when you're doing races or marathon runs or what have you. There isn't really a separate category for Small Fire Warpless because it technically ties into regular Warpless. But there are some people in the community that actually kept a spreadsheet of fast times as Small Fire Mario. Huge shout out to GTAs for putting that together. And I believe the fastest time for small fire currently is like a 1904. I haven't really been keeping up with SMB1 speedrunning for a while. But yeah, it's a pretty fast time. However, when you play as Big Fire Mario, the current world record right now is 1856.911 by Nifsky. So there is still a lot of time left on the table. It is not an optimized category like any percent is. But I think Warpless is more fun, to be honest. Like, if you play any percent, like, there's a lot of tricks in every single stage, and it's just a constant, like, reset heavy, like, category. But it is very short, though, like, with 4:54 as a world record currently. And time can still go down just by maybe a couple more frame rules or so. And here we see another Bowser that a Koopa is disguised. So as you notice, I shot down Bowser because it actually eliminates the bridge collapse animation. Otherwise, it would cost roughly about 2.5 seconds to watch the bridge collapse and then see the fake Bowser fall into the lava, so on and so forth, which is why we want to have fire for these levels. Now we're in 3-1. Now we're in our first night stage here. Just gonna go ahead and jump over that Koopa and end the stage. So currently we are 2 worlds down. World 3 is one of my favorite worlds in this game. Mainly because of like the night stages, and then you can also do some fun tactics here. Alright, so I'm gonna do a thing here, and you're gonna hear me thank somebody. Right there. Thank you, Goofy. So there's another fellow runner by the name of Goofy Chocobo. He discovered a strat where you play along with the music in the background to shoot those Koopa and Goombas. It'll actually despawn a Goomba at the end, right by the staircase. So it's a very nifty strat. Highly recommend trying it out. Also, we're in 3-3, another treetop stage. And you kind of create a little melody from collecting those coins there. Alright, now we're heading into 3-4. So in 3-4, normally the patterns are very different because of frame rules. And there has been an analogy made where frame rules are, you know, they say like the whole imagine a bus type of thing. Which kind of makes sense, because if you finish at like a stage, you're waiting for a bus stop, right? So a frame rule is 21 frames or 0.35 seconds. So you can think of it as when you go to a level, you're going to a bus stop, and each bus leaves every 21 frames or 0.35 seconds, and it'll pretty much alter your patterns for the next level, depending on how fast you finish it. That is probably like the most common analogy we've heard in terms of frame rules. But since we're not really following frame rules for this run, we will be playing it safe for some stages. Let me try... I tried to go for a trick called Flagpole Glitch. Basically what it is, Mario can clip into the block and grab the flagpole without the flag going down. And it actually saves 0.35 seconds, which is a frame rule. And it's also like specific inputs as well. Like, I can't really explain how it works exactly, but I just know how to do it. Now we're in 4-2, which is my personal favorite level in Warpless, because bottom route, best route. You could also go the top route as well. It doesn't really cost any time to go the top route, but I think it's more flashy to go on the bottom route, especially when you have firepower. But you would also add a degree to difficulty if you're just small or don't have fire at all. Alright, so in 4-3, we're in another treetop level, but this time we got mushroom tops instead. And there is a frame rule you can get called the Sky Boots frame rule. Or in this case, as Small Mario, we call it the Sky Butt. And if I can get this, let's see. So you kind of notice there was like a pixel of sky underneath Mario there. That'll actually transition the stage a lot quicker. So we'll see it right here. And there we go, into the transition. Now we're heading into 4-4. And this is our maze level, so we're gonna go top on the first part of the maze. And then for the second part, we're gonna go on the bottom. You can actually clip through that corner as Big Mario, but with Small Mario, I don't think you can. I think you can clip in there, but it is very difficult to pull off. And now we just shot down another fake Bowser. And we are already 4 worlds down. We got 4 more to go. So halfway through the game. Alright. This is where the difficulty starts ramping up. And at the same time, we will be seeing a lot of the same stages as well. But there's going to be more enemies added into it. So 5-1, there aren't any power-ups in this level except for a star, but we don't need to grab it. In 5-2, however, there are 4 power-ups you can grab. And there is this cannon at the very beginning of the stage that could potentially shoot a bullet bill. We're going to see if we can avoid that. Okay, it didn't even shoot, so I guess we're lucky there. Alright, let's do some more platforming. There's a vine up there to take you to Coin Heaven. It doesn't really save any time whatsoever. It'll actually lose you time because you have to climb up the vine and then play through the Coin Heaven stage. Then get set down to another spot. Now 5-3. This is pretty much a copy of 1-3, except we are now dealing with bullet bills. And that is a very low bullet bill. Hopefully I'm not going to get any more trolley patterns here. Okay, we have to make sure we stomp on that Goomba, otherwise that second platform would despawn, because you can only have up to 4 enemy sprites on screen. And any more than that will either despawn another upcoming sprite, or it'll create lag when you shoot fireballs. So now heading into 5-4, this is also a copy of 2-4, except we have more Podoboos, more fire bars. I'm gonna play this a little safe here actually. I didn't quite calculate that correctly. That's fine though. I'm gonna try to keep our fire here. Alright, good. So now we are finished with World 5. Heading into World 6, which is another night world. Also to keep in mind, when you get hit as Small Fire Mario, you're going to revert back to Big Mario. Which would pretty much give you the bigger hitbox, and it is more dangerous because once you get hit again as Big Mario, you're going to end up dying. And it'll revert you back to regular Small Mario. It'll completely take away the glitch if you were to lose it, either by falling into a pit or getting hit by an enemy. But so far we're doing pretty good. Heading into 6-2, which is another favorite for a lot of people, especially when you have firepower, because you have these piranha plants to pick off. And it is actually really good target practice when you're learning this game to understand the trajectory of fireballs, like when to shoot it, how to shoot it, and so on and so forth. Go ahead and pick that guy off, and we're going to intentionally slow down right about here to get a 2 on the timer. So I didn't really quite mention this before. If you get a 1, 3, or a 6 at the end of your timer, it'll give you 1, 3, or 6 fireworks respectively. 1 firework doesn't cost any time. If you get 3 fireworks, it'll cost about a second. And 6 fireworks will cost close to 2 seconds. So now we're in 6-3. This is like the snow stage, except this doesn't have any ice physics whatsoever. So again, we're going to do that little bit of a slowdown to make sure we get a 5 on the timer. Otherwise it would have been a 6 if we kept on going at full speed. Alright, 6-4. This is a copy of 1-4. So you can pretty much see the trend. They're pretty much copying some of the stages. I'm pretty sure it's because of time constraints or something like that. But I just did a safe strat right there to make sure these fire bars are consistent and you can just go through them just fine. And this Bowser here will start throwing hammers, and as you noticed, when I shot fireballs, it was creating a lot of lag because there are so many hammers on screen. However, the hitboxes for those hammers are actually they're very strange. Even though there is a bunch on screen, but there's only a few hitboxes for those. So now we're in World 7. This is the battlefield level. Got a bunch of bullet bill cannons. Okay, again, we're gonna do another slowdown strat. We just avoided the most expensive Buzzy Beetle. There's actually a funny story behind that. So, a couple years ago, myself, Cosmic, Rupert, and GTAce, we were racing in one of Big John's events. And so it was for a prize money. And Cosmic was ahead, and he got hit by that Buzzy Beetle. So that pretty much cost him the race, and I ended up winning that race. So we just coined it the most expensive Buzzy Beetle. Anyways, we're in 7-2, as you notice, another copy level, but this time there are more bloopers and cheeps. However, there could be a blooper at the end of the level that could be very tricky. We're gonna keep an eye out for it. Sometimes I normally don't like to shoot down these enemies. But yep, I see that blooper coming up, so we're gonna go ahead and shoot him down. That's gonna cost a little bit of time, it's no big deal though. And we got a 3 on the timer, so we're gonna get 3 fireworks here. That's totally fine. But anyways, this is gonna be a 2-3 with more cheeps, so I'll throw it over to the host to say a few words.
Yes, of course. We have a donation here of $5 by Raccoon Dog 24 FPS. No message, but we thank you anyway. Please do get your donations in. There is plenty of time for everything, but, you know, it always helps to get in early. Thank you.
Alright. So now we're heading into 7-4, and this is not a copy level this time. This is actually another maze level, but a slightly different layout. So this time we're going to go bottom, middle, and top for the first half, and then for the second half, we're gonna go top, middle, and accidentally bonked. Hopefully that doesn't loop the castle, because it could potentially do that. Okay, thank goodness. Some fireballs here. Bowser decided to turn around and got rid of them. So now we are 7 worlds in. We got 1 more world to go. This is world 8. Get to it, shall we? This is actually the longest stage in the game. And for those of you that may have seen any percent runs, normally it would be small for this stage, which could be a lot more dangerous. But since we have fire, this would actually make it a lot easier to get through some instances. Alright, so we hit that star block. In the any percent category, it'll actually raise the flag a pixel higher, and we call it Good Judges. This also applies in Warpless, but you don't necessarily have to do that since the flag will be a pixel higher anyway. So you don't have to do any like fancy like setup or anything like that. Alright, just like that, we are done with 8-1. Now we're heading into 8-2, which is probably one of the more difficult stages. Alright, just kind of weave on through those enemies there. Okay, I will be doing a safe strat coming up. This is bonk, brush, boing, and bounce. And we call that the Xerox F BBBB strat, which is named after Xerox Fiend, another fellow SMB1 runner, who came up with that consistent strat, and yeah, it works almost every time. So we got bonk, brush, boing, and bounce. Those are the 4 Bs. Now we're in 8-3, which is another scary level, because we got Hammer Bros to deal with. But since we got fire, we should be able to pick them off just fine. I almost miscalculated that one there. No big deal. Alright, we just got 1 more level to go. 8-4. We're going to be going through several pipes here. Alright, so for this first room, we're going to go ahead and land on this platform for safety. Go for this pipe. This is called the wall jump room. We're going to go ahead and set up for a 2-frame wall jump. We got it. Nice. This right here is a turnaround room. Gonna turn around and enter this pipe. Now we're in the underwater section. We got this room and one more room to go. Time ends on the axe grab. A little bit of hiccup there, no big deal. Alright. We're gonna go ahead and shoot down Bowser because why not? And time.
GG. Well done.
No, thank you very much. And that, my friends, is Super Mario Bros. Warpless. What was my time on that, by the way?
Let you know in just a second. For now, is there anyone you'd like to shout out?
Yeah, I would like to shout out the Mario community, the Sonic community, the fast-paced events community as well. Everyone has done a great job putting this marathon together, especially in honor of Kid. I actually did record a tribute video earlier, but I'll mention it here. I actually met Kid in 2018 through the Sonic 3D Blast community, aka the International Isometric Salt Mine. They have been such a joy to work with, whether it's commentary or just behind the scenes. Like when I heard the news of what happened, I was really devastated by it, and I'm really glad that I was able to be a part of this marathon. I do have one more run to go. That's going to happen tomorrow with Sonic 1 Glitchless. I'll be racing Candy and 2chan. That's going to be a very fun race. But yeah, I really miss you, Kid. I wish you were still here, but I hope we'll make you proud with the rest of this marathon. And that's all I got to say about that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Your time was a 1922. That I wouldn't say.
I'll take it.
And where can people find you?
You can find me on twitch.tv/supersonic_. Yes, there is an underscore at the end because somebody else has the supersonic name. You can also follow me on Twitter at supersonic71087. And you can also check out my YouTube channel at, it's also the same name, supersonic71087. And yeah, I usually stream daily, mostly like throughout the week. I speedrun a lot of Mario and Sonic games. I'm also diving into various retro speedruns as well, and sometimes I'll do some casual games that my community will pick out for me to play. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Very much. Let's go to a break and see what's coming up next.